So what is the difference between fundamentality and prominence?
If something is prominent, it's easy to see. Your attention is drawn to it. If something is fundamental, it's the reason why things are where they are. And obviously there might be degrees of fundamentality. So for instance, take the game of Go, for instance. It's played on a large board with stones, and the stones make a clacking noise. Now, the clacking noise is prominent, but it's not fundamental, because the clacking is not really why the players are there. They're there to play this kind of in-depth strategy game. Now, the clacking might be fundamental if, for instance, I clack a stone down because, it's a critical move, for instance. Then it would be, fundamental and prominent. I guess a lot of the things we take to be fundamental are really just prominent, and vice versa. So I find it a pretty useful distinction.
So it's like the clacking of a keyboard, all the same sounds, but you're not getting, but the fundamentality would be the words that the keyboard is actually typing.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a piano keyboard.
That as well.
Yeah.
Probably would have been better since fills in with music. So,
yeah.
I'm sure, do you have any words for someone that would say, oh, philosophy is just for nerds or geeks?
Right. Yeah, this is the fun one, isn't it? So I take a geek or a dweeb or a dork to be kind of subjective, and they are maybe like characterizations of someone's appearance or mannerisms. So I don't really mind those. Geek is more interesting because some people apply it to others, some people apply it to themselves. And when people apply it to others, it's often applied as a pejorative, but then sometimes it's applied as praise.
Well, I guess the main thing would be is that things can have different meanings. Like when you can say, oh, this person's an atheist, and then you can even say, but not all atheists are exactly the same. Everyone has their own definition of God. Everyone has their own different definition of atheism. So could that be applied to geek versus nerd as well?
Well, my argument is that there's this hidden meaning that we're all searching for when we use this word in these, and the evidence is that the disparate ways in which we use a word. Nerd is the one that is interesting because, for me, it ought to be a pejorative. I'll explain why. A nerd is someone who pays a certain kind of attention to detail. Pays attention to maybe the wrong kinds of details and the wrong kinds of ways. And, the test of whether a way of thinking or an object is nerdy is ought other people who don't currently care about this thing care about it. And if the answer is no, then it's probably just for nerds. And so is philosophy just for nerds? I argue no, because we're all confronted with philosophical problems. Philosophy is really indispensable to everyone. And, often we don't realize it that we're doing philosophy badly.
Well, what I mean by like the meanings change, for example, back in the day, you could say someone was a hacker, or a hack would be you exploit a system, usually through an illegal method. Now, today you look up like life hacks on YouTube. You find, did you know that you could rub salt shaker upside down to get more salt out? That's considered a hack, even though it's not really a hack. It's just an easier way of doing something. So nerd could evolve that way as well.
Well, the use, the intended use always changes. My argument is that the intended use implies a deeper use, a deeper meaning. And I think that, if you start asking the question of, well, ought other people care about this kind of detail, then you can save yourself a lot of time. So, for instance, should we care about politics? Well, yes, your landlord cares about politics. Should we care about sports? Now, maybe we should all care about some games or sports, but is there any reason why everyone should care about a particular sport, or maybe not? And an interesting theorem of this definition is a lot of people who were not previously considered nerds actually turn out to be nerds. And a lot of people who were previously considered nerds turn out just to be intelligent.
So what word would you rather use instead of nerd? And we can put it out there, and then that will be the new word for everyone.
No word.
No word
a
at
more
all.
nominal descriptive set of words. So is
Well, I guess you could say that there shouldn't even be a word at all, because not everything needs a word. Like you could say, oh, this guy likes pizza, he's a pizza eater. Well, some people like pizza, some people don't. You don't need a word to describe a person outside of people that like.
no, I like this example because I think that this is a huge part of my view.